Hello and welcome to Maxim Foods Inside Track. Here we are right in the middle of winter up in Queensland, quite cold for Queensland standards. I know the whole eastern seaboard of Australia has had a bit of a cold snap over the last week, so hope everyone's rugged up and enjoying the winter chill. Let's get into the dairy industry. As an overall comment, on the auction last night we saw some real bearish sentiment. The first decrease we've seen in the last 3 to 4 months. For whole milk in particular, we saw a decrease of 4.3%. This was expected with futures pricing leading up to the auction. Also general sentiment, the fact that New Zealand are going into their season meant more volume on the platform. So most buyers are hesitant to buy further out. Therefore, we did see that decrease and lack of competition in the auction, which meant a drift off in pricing. In terms of short to medium term outlook, obviously supply will come on with the New Zealand season. It's just a question whether demand will hold up to balance that out. But we should see a bearish outlook in the short term at least. Moving on to skim milk powder, so relative to how skim normally performs, it's been quite volatile over the last 6 months. We have seen a bit of a ceiling at US 2800 in the auction. This is the third time that it's nearly broken through in the last 18 months and has corrected. So yeah, it looks as though it's relatively bearish skim at the moment. In the EU, we're still seeing bearish conditions, some good supply and waning demand. In the US, non-fat is relatively stable as well at the moment. So yeah, not a lot of excitement in skim and forecasted to be reasonably flat as we head into the NZ season. Moving across to butterfat. Butterfat's been the real topical one over the last 3 months. Some really bullish conditions on butterfat on the auction in the US and the EU. If we look around the globe, in the EU, butter is still very short, a lot of hand-to-mouth buyers and some firm pricing there. Same as the US, things well balanced in the States. In Australia and New Zealand, it's been a bit all over the place. New Zealand demand has been extremely strong at the end of the season, and Australian has proven to be better value. Australian butter has been some of the best value in the world at the moment. Last night on the auction we saw a correction on both AMF and butter fat, but it's once again coming down from historical highs. So yeah, I still feel the demand is there for butter fat, but once again supply coming on board for the new season. I believe this was a correction from historical high pricing, but a firmish outlook for butter. If we look at a quick snapshot of cheese globally, in the US things still reasonably firm. In the EU, balanced as well there, with demand holding up okay and supply evenly balanced. If we look over in Australia and New Zealand, yeah, a little bit of a different scenario to what we've seen over the last couple of months. The Australian inventory and heavy supply that we have seen, it has been worked through for the most part. So we're seeing Australian cheese pricing lifting and demand being reasonably good. In the Southeast Asian and North Asian markets, demand is coming back, and so we have a bit more of an even market over here with Australian and New Zealand cheese. Moving across to sweet whey powder, not a lot of excitement in the market there. Things still reasonably balanced and pricing steady. In terms of PIs, PCs on the protein side of things, yeah, still a firm bullish market there. Yeah, demand still outstripping supply, especially on the WPI side of things. Thanks very much for listening to today's Inside Track. In summary, as we saw once again, there is the correction last night on the auction, and it'll be an interesting 2 to 3 months as we lead into New Zealand season on how that will affect demand. Thanks very much, and we'll see you again in a fortnight.